Combiner Wars as a toy line is one of my favorites of all time. It was a toy line that got me back into collecting after a roughly 7-year hiatus. And if there's one thing that Combiner Wars actually taught me as a collector, it's that chunk Combiner limb figures will always have some degree of compromise made to most likely at least 2 out of their 3 modes that they have to pull off. And the only real cure to this is something that I absolutely fucking dread. Skeleton Combiners! The cheap, lowball way of making combiners that doesn't involve any research and development or basic engineering as a cost-cutting measure. But it can also be argued that this is a great way of allowing the individual bots to stand on their own merits while increasing the stability of the connections in the combine mode. And this can be especially beneficial for things like deluxe jet formers, because in all the years of engineering genius, technological advancements, and weaponized autism, our dumbass homunculus caveman brains as a society still couldn't think of any original ways to make deluxe jet former combiner limbs actually cool and good without doing this shit. So honestly, skeleton combiners are just a necessary evil that we had to accept at this point. So I have to ask at this point, with reviews of Silverbolt already coming out and revealing that he is a huge parts former, don't we deserve a bit more for the deluxes, considering they are now $27.99? Now, what if I told you that there was a deluxe class combiner limb jet former that finally rose above the ranks, said fuck you to all the haters, and decided to break all of these rules?
Holy...
That's right, fuckers. Dumbass Slingshot managed to achieve the Holy Trinity with an absolutely almost perfect robot to alt to limb mode combo for the first time in the history of actual chug. And may I remind you, this fucker is an aerial bot. You know, the thing that's supposed to be the antithesis of alt mode quality or integrity. The living definition of relegating every admirable attribute into being a left arm in Superion's professional eating service just to get thrown body first into a guy made out of trucks and cars.
I'm the luckiest!
This jet mode is over here slamming into my 2x2 animation space with the most intensely 80s jet that I've ever seen. With a big-ass sci-fi orange window chunkin'-ass cockpit that brings off real Spaceballs vibes in the best ways possible.
They've gone to plaid.
This flying slab of space also may look as boss as shit, but how does this bad boy feel? Well, he is quite a bit lighter than Air Raid and also feels slightly cheaper, but he is also flawlessly balanced compared to him and ridiculously solid overall. With a healthy smattering of 80s retro red striping with some unfortunate paint mishaps that do somewhat put a damper on the quality of the look. But are you really gonna sit here and argue with landing gear brains? The comparison of Air Raid to Slingshot's undercarriage is embarrassingly not even a competition, with a jet of this guy laying low to the ground and perfectly streamlined, while a plank boner right out of Spirit Airlines barely holds Air Raid's shit together, while also raising his cockpit about 20 feet off the ground for any poor unfortunate shitheads who have to ride inside him. Wait a minute, is Air Raid made by Boeing? So yeah, if I disappear tomorrow, just know that I had zero intentions of hurting myself, and Boeing probably just hired the Pinkertons to kill me. A welcome fate in this geopolitical hellscape. Slingshot's transformation starts off like your standard issue jet former, with the feet being stupidly gigantic, but in an act of godlike engineering genius, his arms form the freaking fuselage of the jet mode, with only a tiny cone of it becoming a backpack, which forms an overall less than perfect bot mode with some heavy kibble that's actually animation accurate and doesn't hinder posability much beyond what you'd expect for an aerial bot. There's no arms underneath the wings, but hey, look at these tiny pew-pews bullshit going on here. No compromise, no fakery, just 110% bad bitch energy. Because even with all of this bot mode kibble, this guy is hella stable, with gigantic ass feet that definitely won't cause any degeneracy in my comments section. This guy may sweeble and he may swabble, but he will definitely fuck you up if he kicks you. The all-orange Donald Trump chicken jockey spray tan vibes on his go will definitely bring out tune-accurate Slingshot vibes in the best ways possible. The only real caveat to his posability is the fact that his legs are a bit more hollow than Air Raid, because as much as I rag on Air Raid hard for being this bullshit, he is kinda built like a brick shithouse for a standard deluxe figure, and this guy does have some very mild loosey-goosey action going on the go as well, particularly in the arms, which have some sacrifices made to the geometry, with them pretty much just being planks that with gun holes that don't really do anything. But if that's what they had to do to make a jet mode rule this fucking hard, I can honestly forgive him for that. Because while both modes may have slight compromises, as I learned from Studio Series 102 Optimus and fucking Air Raid, having two slightly compromised modes is better than nuking one in the pulp for an accurate pop mode.